You're crazy to bet against the United States. It's insanity. And I know all the negative Nellies get all this, the U.S. is broken. But I get it. They're going to get the viral videos and stuff. It's stupid, man. I'm sorry. I get it. Freaking fear sells, positivity, no one protests. Like, life is good. I get it. But I just get so sick of the negative Nellies all the time. So anyway, if you're anti-negative Nelly, make sure you thumbs up at least this video. Just do me a favor and thumbs up this video because I'm going to prove to you once again why the United States is still the best game in town. It's just it forever will be. Not forever. I can't say that. But as long as God has his freaking thumb on the scale, which divine intervention, he absolutely does. I don't know why, but he does. So we're going to come over here. I'm just going to show you something here. I was debating this guy about German. He was talking about electricity. He says right here, this is a professor over at the University of Arkansas. High energy, high income countries have been dependent on fossil fuels, but it may not be true in the future. The EU as a whole has cut their fossil fuel share of electricity in half, and few countries have made dramatic shifts. Okay, so electricity, and then I came back and said electricity is just a subset of total energy consumption. And I showed him the idea of a growing economy can run on wind and photovoltaic is pure insanity. And I showed him evolution of total energy supply in Germany since 2000. And I'm kind of setting my trap, which he fell for. He goes, the trends are in the same direction if you look at total energy consumption. I said, that's why I said a growing economy, because I said, yes. And almost up on cue, German industrial production. Look at that, dude. So, Germany used to be a power. It's crazy to me. Crazy. They're freaking killing themselves deliberately. I don't understand it. It's the weirdest thing, man. They're destroying themselves. And, we know after World War II and during World War II, my great-grandfather came here from Austria, and he was almost lynched in Arizona by back in 1916, 17 and stuff, 18, something like that. But we get it. There's been a lot of anti-German sentiment for freaking centuries. I get it. And I guess, the global want the German people to go to an early reward, I suppose. But it's not just Germany. It's all of Europe. So we are the shining freaking beacon on the hill compared to Europe. No other way around it. If Germany is going to do deindustrialization, as they are, and the rest of Europe falls along, because Germany used to be, I think they still are the number 3 economy. Then what's the alternative? Well, China. Let's take a look here. So I want to show you guys something here. Check this out. I come over here. So we see Kuwait recently discovered new offshore natural gas field with estimated reserves about 1 trillion cubic feet. All right, that's not bad. And then Iran recently discovered approximately 10 trillion cubic feet of natural gas in one of its southern Iran gas fields. Pretty good, pretty good. And I said, okay. I said, what's the Permian Basin? There's just the Permian Basin. What's the natural gas discovered in the Permian Basin? Cumulatively produced 75 trillion 75 trillion cubic feet. Proven recoverable reserves. There's a big difference here between proven 19 to 50. This is just the Permian Basin now. Not the Marcellus, not the Utica. This is just Permian. 19 to 50 trillion cubic feet. Undiscovered, technically recoverable. Almost 300 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. Interesting. So I said, what are the remaining recoverable resources in the Permian Basin again? It's just Permian. 316 trillion cubic feet. So I said, what are the top 5 countries in proven natural gas reserves? Proven now. And I'm going to go into what this means here in just a second. Russia has about 3 times as much as we. Iran's got about 2.5 times as much as we do. Qatar is 800 times as much as we do. 800 times, twice as much as we do, a little bit less. And here's the U.S., number 4. We got more than even Saudi Arabia. All right? So Iran and Russia up there, but we're not that far. Look, 3 behind. We're behind, don't get me wrong, but that's proven natural gas resources. So check this out. China is only number 6 or 7 in proven resources due to slower development and conservative booking. Well, you probably want to be conservative in your booking, which the United States certainly is. So I said, comparison of total technically recoverable. And I'll get into proven and technically recoverable here in just a second. And we are number 1 in technically recoverable natural gas. 2,800 trillion cubic feet of total technically recoverable. Russia's behind us. China's half of us. Argentina, Iran, technically recoverable. What's the difference? Well, let's take a look here. So remember, we're number 4 in proven, number 1 in technically recoverable. Proven is gas has been discovered, drilled, and confirmed to exist with a high certainty, over 90% probability. Proven by actual wells. They got wells on site right there. That's a certainty. Must be economic or at current prices and within 5 to 10 years. All right. As for the United States, we're SEC regulated. Only near existing wells and known reservoirs with approved development plans. They'll be able to produce within 5 to 15 years. All right. Interesting. However, technically recoverable. Gas has been estimated to exist in the ground and can be extracted using current technology, regardless of cost. Current technology. The certainty is lower, is based on geological models, analogs, and estimates. It ignores the cost. So technically recoverable ignores the cost to recover that. So who has the better ability to pay for our technically recoverable but not proven natural gas that's down there? Well, the United States, for sure. All right, but they're going bankrupt. Now check this out. 500 total trillion cubic 500 trillion cubic feet of proven reserves in the U.S. 2.8 thousand trillion cubic feet. We're number 1 versus number 4. That's pretty good. And Grok does this great analogy. Proven reserves are cash you have right now, cash in the bank. Houses already built and for sale. Technically recoverable is all the money you could earn in your lifetime. All land where a house could be built with today's tools. Point being is technically recoverable is long-term potential. Interesting. So now we're going to look right here. We got 20% of the world's technically recoverable natural gas. That's just natural gas. U.S. number 1 by a wide margin. All right. So we're number 1 there, and we have the resources and the financial ability to drill for that sucker. All right. Notice Europe is nowhere on there. So we're not competing with Europe anymore. They're done. So who are we competing with? Russia and China, basically. And Iran. But Russia's, their demographics are horrible. China's demographics are horrible. Ours aren't great, but they're a hell of a lot better than that. Iran is actually having lower birth rates, too. In fact, I think I read Iran has a lower fertility rate than the U.S. or some southern states. I can't remember what it is, but not very high. Just not very high. But that's only natural gas. And now we look at proven oil reserves. All right, U.S. is number 1 in technically recoverable oil reserves. We're number 1. Russia's number 2. Saudi Arabia. Canada's number 4. Whatever, Canada, who cares? So we are number 1 in technically recoverable oil reserves. All right. Technically recoverable because all crude oil plus condensate oil that can be condensate, whatever how you say that, can be extracted using current technology regardless of cost, development status, or economic viability. Now we aren't number 1 in proven reserves. All right. I think we're number 6 or something like that. Let's see. If we go to proven reserves, Saudi is number, I have it on here. Let's take a look here. Right here. Proven reserves. Venezuela is number 1, but do you trust anything that comes from Venezuela? I don't. Saudi is number 2. Canada is number 3. Iran and Iraq are 4 and 5. But again, we're number 1 in technically recoverable. You see where this is going, right? If you want a growing economy, you're going to need these resources. Yes, I get it. I love nuclear too, as well. Nuclear takes a long time to get running. That's just a fact. And the facts are, while nuclear is green, it's freaking stupid as if CO2 is bad, but either way, while nuclear is wonderful, it's a complement to our fossil fuels. I mean, look, I'm not against solar. If you want rooftop solar, battery bank, I got clients to do that. I got no qualm with that at all. I would love to have rooftop solar and a battery bank. I'm not going to do it because it's pretty lazy. It's like, freaking burning natural gas. But the idea that these deindustrializing countries are going to overtake us because of what? Well, are you debt? What? This is the thing with the trade. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. This is the thing that drives me up the wall. Here's a cumulative U.S. federal debt versus a cumulative trade balance. All right, and you can see right here, this is the debt on the red. And from 1970, it's gone to 35 trillion, whatever it is. Our cumulative trade balance is down to 17.5 trillion. And they always say it's our debt that's causing us to have slower GDP growth. I'm like, why can't it be the cumulative trade balance? How come it's not that? Well, cumulative trade balance, no big deal. It is a big deal. I mean, it is a huge deal. If you're going to say it's our debt that's slowing us down, I'd say it's our cumulative trade balance. Anyway, the point being is there's a very easy way to reduce our cumulative trade balance. How? We start exporting our fossil fuels, which is what we're doing now, as opposed to relying on these other countries. Start exporting. We need tariffs, like 100%. I'll do another video on the insanity of the anti-tariff narrative, which is just silly. If the truth is on your side, you wouldn't need to stretch the truth, if that makes sense. Point being is, at the end of the day, there's no game in town like the United States, dude. In fact, let's take a look at fertility rate, because I think Iran. Yeah, so there's Iranian fertility rate, 1.7 versus the United States, 1.6. So Iran's not, they're not like this huge growing Muslim-dominated country. It's just not. And in fact, if you take let's take this. You see right here, 26% of fertility is explained by vote share. And I'm not quite sure I believe this, but we'll run with it for the time being. Average total fertility rate per woman, basically 1.8 in red states, 1.5 in blue states. I don't know why they got Alaska and Georgia in blue states, but be it as it may, we're having more babies. In fact, the South is having more babies than Iran as a whole. That's just a fact. Well, the red states. It's just because we're crushing that, because when you look at that's just it's not the U.S. as a whole. It's the South that's going to lead the way forward for sure. Now, California is like the 4th largest economy in the world. Dude, they're not idiots out there, man. I know they're dumb, but they're not idiotic where they said they're going to shut down everything. It's just now the Democrats are big on nuclear. We're seeing Bill Gates switch the climate change stuff. We're seeing this all over the place. The climate chaos is dead. I don't know what the hell's going on in Europe, why they keep doing this. But, at the end of the day, they're relying so heavily on imports from Russia, China, Iran, United States, Venezuela, Cuba, who knows. At some point, though, they're not even in the ballpark with us anymore. The only game is the U.S. We still have a somewhat capitalistic structure where you can deploy resources better than China top down. We have more natural resources that we have access to than any other country out there. The debt that we carry, we own it ourselves. Man. All right, but by all means, don't invest in the United States. I don't care. Write videos how we're dying, how we're dead. It's a crash coming. Oh my goodness. You need energy to run an economy. No energy, no economic growth. It's just a fact. And we have it, baby. We have it. All right, God bless. We'll see you.